The Beast of Kerama, Retto. This journal belongs to Sergeant Edward Boyington of the 77th Infantry Division. According to Sergeant Boyington, who died recently of heart failure at the age of 90, the journal contains his accounts on the first stages of the Battle of Okinawa. March 26, 1945. We were the first group of men to be sent to shore on the small island called Kerama Retto, 15 miles just west of Okinawa. Our job was to secure the island for our fleet to anchor in. Suicide boats from the Japanese were a threat to our vessels. That's why we had to secure the island as soon as possible to reduce the risk of losing a number of our warships before the actual attack on the mainland starts. After all, this was just phase 1 of the plan. It was our first day, yet the Japanese attacks were heavy and constant. It really comes to show that these soldiers are determined to do anything to stop us and to protect their homeland from being taken. But we were just as relentless. From groups of 80, they were taken down to numbers less than 10. March 27, 1945. No attacks were observed today. We saw no enemy movement. My squad was sent by our CO to report any enemy movement on the hills. For hours we looked, and for hours we saw nothing. We were about to head back until we came across an empty Japanese pillbox, or at least we thought it was empty. We got in, and what we saw inside was absolutely sickening. We saw the bodies of dead Japanese soldiers, mutilated. Their limbs were torn off, their chests were ripped open, and their faces were horribly disfigured. Blood, flesh and internal organs were all over the wall. It was a terrible sight. Even a soldier like me could not stand staring at it. It got dark, so we got out. We went our way back and decided to report everything in the morning. March 28th, 1945. I didn't sleep much yesterday because I kept thinking of what had happened to those Japanese soldiers in the pillbox. I reported to our CO and told him that we never saw any movement from the enemy, though I never told him anything of what we had seen. What's important is that those bastards are dead, and there's nothing to stop us. Once again, there was no attack, no engagement with the enemy, and once again we were sent back into those hills, this time further, to report any movement coming from the Japanese. We came across the pillbox, but didn't bother checking it out. It was only a waste of valuable time, so we just kept moving. After a long walk, my squad and I found a tunnel made by the Japanese. We knew these tunnels from the Marines who fought in Peleliu. All of us agreed to check it out and see what was inside. We fixed bayonets just in case we encounter the enemy. As we got inside, we saw rifles and brass on the ground. We turned our flashlights on as we got deeper into the tunnel. Not long enough, we found the bodies of dead Japanese soldiers. Same description as those in the pillbox. Limbs torn off, chest ripped open, and internal organs ripped out. We thought of heading back until we heard something just ahead of us. It sounded like flesh being torn. We pointed our flashlights directly ahead to see what was making such sound. We saw a tall, dark creature feeding on the corpse of a Japanese soldier. It had long claws, an almost human-like head and no eyes. For some reason, we just stood there, frozen in fear, until it looked at us and gave out a screech. We ran as fast as we could out of the tunnel, but the beast chased us and was able to grab 2 of my comrades. When we got out, all we heard was screaming and tearing of flesh. March 29, 1945. Private Wharton and I are the only ones left in our squad. We got lost finding our way back, so we ended up here, somewhere in the middle of the forest. We considered calling for help, but we were afraid it would attract the beast. We didn't know what to do. Private Wharton was having nervous breakdowns. I tried to comfort him. At some point, he pointed his rifle at me. He thought that if we were to die here, we would die without getting eaten by the beast. I disarmed him and told him to keep his grip. He started crying. It got dark again. We heard a familiar sound, a screeching sound. It was the beast. It was searching, probably for food. Private Wharton hid under a tree while I hid in dense foliage. The creature seemed to be getting drawn to Private Wharton's whimpering, so I threw 2 stones at a different direction, and the beast seemed to follow the sound. It vanished. We escaped it once again. March 30th, 1945. We haven't had food for 2 days. We were starving. We still kept on finding our way back. Every time we thought we were almost out of the forest, we would end up on the very same spot where we began. Private Wharton's actions were worsening. He kept complaining and complaining and complaining. I was also starting to lose it because of him. He was just uncontrollable. I aimed my rifle at him, and to my surprise, he quickly disarmed me and pointed the gun at me. I thought this was it. I thought I'll never see my wife and kids again. I thought this is the part where he shoots both of us. I was wrong. He pointed the rifle at another direction and fired a couple of shots. He called out for the beast and demanded me to run. At first I thought he had completely lost it, but it turned out that he was trying to help me, to get me out of here. I don't know why. I started running as fast as I could and as far as I could. I heard gunshots, then a scream, then a loud shriek. I ran and ran until I was almost out of breath. Then I saw movement. It was our guys. Finally, relief. I approached them. They saw me coming towards them. They told me to halt, but before I could act, I suddenly lost consciousness. I woke up lying down on a stretcher inside a medical tent. Our CO came in and asked how I was feeling. I responded with a nod. He asked me what had happened. I didn't want him to react in disbelief, so I made up a story. I told him that we were captured by the Japanese and that I was the only one who got out alive. He accepted it, told me to get some rest, and got out of the tent. March 31st, 1945. The whole island was secured. It's really funny because we have not encountered the Japanese for days, or at least me and my squad didn't. I find it difficult to laugh about it, maybe because of everything I've been through in this island, and only I knew what really happened. We are to be shipped out of here tomorrow to our next assignment. All I want was to get out of this island, to avoid the beast responsible for the deaths of my comrades, who stood and fought with me since Guam. I hope that's the last time I see it. It came from behind. November 1st, 1629, Salem, Mass. Journal of Unknown Settler. Thy family hath been cursed. I shan't go on living in this gate to hell. Surely the novel town of Salem shall be damned to the burning resting place of Satan himself. Thy family hath been cursed. Thy town of Salem have been shamed by God. The monster approached from the rear, grasping itself around thy seed of hope. She be dead now, I live for nothing now. Thou art not forgiven, mysterious entity of death. Thou shalt. February 14th, 1792. Plymouth, Mass. Journal of John Harrison, aged 29. It's been a couple something 20 years since we won our independence from those damned regulars. Our town's finally safe again. There should no longer be any more ruckus for a while. It's been a peaceful day, as of now. My slave was getting me a barrel of tea from the store, but I suspect she must have run away once more. Now I have to tell old Benjamin Franklin to put up some wanted signs. It's feeling strange inside my house. July 3rd, 1863, Gettysburg, PA. Memoirs of Private George McKinley, aged 21. Those damn Yankees came from the stupid fucking Union side over to our side of the goddamn base. I'm getting awful tired of this shit. They've raped our nurses and beaten our wounded. Aren't the noble loyalists supposed to be merciful? Nah. They are just a bunch of arseholes. I hope one of those Yankee fucks gets to read one of these notes. July 4th, 1864, Gettysburg, PA. Memoirs of Private George McKinley, age 21. That's it, Gettysburg has been lost. Here I thought our shitty army had a chance to redeem itself. As it turns out, those Yankee fucks have a better army than we do. That's impossible. I don't understand. We have guys like Forrest and Lee running around, and we're getting our asses handed to us by a bunch of Yankee hicks. What a joke, I tell ya. I'm going to spend the rest of the evening at a saloon, hopefully finding a nice bar girl to do me right. Wink wink. Also, I'd like to mention I've been hearing weird noises outside for the part November 8th, 1959, Miami, Florida, journal of an unidentified teenage girl, aged 17. There's a crazy fucking thing outside. It's been there for the past night and a half. I was intrigued by its appearance. I managed to draw a picture of it. It doesn't want to kill me, but it wants to kill people. It's so strange. It looks like something from one of those big budget movies. It tells me things I have learned that he will have to kill me for later. I pleaded to at least finish the painting before I depart. I'm looking at it right now as I write this last sentence. It's crying as its claws against my neck. June 1st, 2001, New York City, New York. Call log of Ryan Franco, age 25. Reported missing on June 4th, 2001. Hey Ma, you there? That thing followed me to work this morning. This is why I hate working at the World Trade Center. Weird shit always happens to me. Well, at least I have that dinner with Jessica tonight to look forward to. Hey, call me back and let me know what's for dinner. I can hear knocking in the distance. Oh, shit. And that's it for tonight, my little hellhounds. Thanks for listening. If you liked these scary stories, then don't forget to click the like button and subscribe. Also click the bell icon so you get notified every time I upload. If you have any scary stories you want narrated on the channel, then submit them to Reddit r/homeofscares and follow me on Twitter at homeofscares. Now, good night, my little hellhounds.